everybody. It's Reg Griffin, Chief Communications Officer here at the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. So good to be with you today. As you know, in July and August, we are recognizing planting seeds for a successful school year. It's part of our overall SEEDS program. And we wanted to talk today about the importance of coaching and the resources available to you as a child care provider, but also as a family, a parent, individuals interested in inclusion and behavioral support, and the resources available here at DECAL. So we're pleased to be talking today with Veronica Thomas, Program Manager for Inclusion and Behavior Support. Veronica, good to be with you today.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here, Reg. Thank you, and ready to share lots of information about our coaching supports.
Well, let's start by talking about the Inclusion and Behavior Support Helpline. Who can contact that helpline?
Sure. So within the Inclusion and Behavior Support Program, anyone can contact us to learn about our services, but we welcome all early childhood providers to contact the line to get support for their child care program. And that includes private child care programs, Georgia's pre-K, Head Start, family learning homes, and faith-based programs. But also families of children enrolled in child care can also reach out and request that we contact their program to offer our assistance.
So I think that might be a big question our viewers would have. Who is eligible to receive coaching and who should be reaching out for this support?
Yeah, so any child care provider or program working with young children is eligible to receive coaching. So many times we receive calls from a teacher working in a classroom who might want help addressing challenging behaviors they're experiencing, or we might have a family provider who wants assistance with accommodating a child with a disability. We've also had cases where a director of a child care center is reaching out on behalf of multiple teachers to get program-wide support. So we can work one-on-one with a provider, or we can work with an administrator to coach multiple classrooms.
So you can call the helpline and you can ultimately schedule a coaching visit. Tell us what that coaching visit is like. What will that look like?
During the first meeting with an inclusion and behavior support program specialist, providers can expect to get an opportunity to discuss their concerns for their classroom or the needs that they have as a teacher. And then the specialist will give a brief overview of our coaching process, and they'll start to identify when and how they'd like to meet. We like to make sure that the coaching doesn't conflict with any important daily activities that the teacher has planned. So the peer also looks at the provider's schedule to make sure that they know what time of day they like to meet moving forward. Lastly, the peer schedules a classroom observation, which is just a time where the specialist comes and unobtrusively looks for teaching practices that support social emotional learning and inclusion. And so that observation is done during a time of day where the teacher identifies or the provider identifies that they're struggling the most. And it typically lasts no longer than 2 hours.
And Veronica, what kinds of things do they work on during that coaching visit?
All of the supports that our unit provides are focused on inclusive practices, supporting social emotional learning in young children, and preventing and addressing challenging behaviors in the classroom environment. So an example of that could be the specialist helping a provider to create and teach a daily schedule, or how to support transitions between those daily activities. So following the observation, the specialists and the providers will meet to discuss the goals that the provider has specific to their teaching practices. That specialist will help the provider turn those goals into an identified action plan that really makes the coaching feel realistic and attainable. And so they work together to accomplish those goals at a pace that the provider sets and feels comfortable for them. The specialists really don't come with their own agenda. They are truly there just to support the provider and their classroom through a partnership.
And so in general, how often do these coaching meetings occur? And on average, how many times will the specialist meet with their coachee?
Well, after the action planning, providers can expect a visit from their specialist about every 2 weeks. The specialist will come, they'll observe the goal in action, or the teaching practice in action. And then they'll meet to talk about the observation. The provider will reflect on their progress and talk through a few ideas and resources to really help that provider achieve their goal. And so most specialists and providers work together from anywhere between 3 and 4 months, but that's completely up to the peer to discuss.
I mean, this sounds fantastic and a great resource for everyone who is interested. How do teachers and providers reach out for more information on getting started with their coaching?
If any providers are interested in receiving coaching, they can contact the SEEDS Helpline at 1-833-354-4357. That's help, or they can email us at inclusion@decal.ga.gov.
And what about those teachers who may not be ready to engage in formal coaching yet? Are there other ways to receive support from your program?
Yes, and so there's a lot of different ways that we can provide support. If they're not ready to receive coaching, they can attend trainings to increase their knowledge base and awareness of inclusive practices and social emotional development. So if individuals are interested in training, they can search on the Georgia Professional Development System in OLLI for any SEEDS training. I think we have about 5 self-paced modules available that you can start, stop, or complete in your own time. And you can also earn right from the start credit for completing those trainings. If there are directors interested in training for their childcare site and the teachers that they employ, we also provide private trainings where all their staff can attend for right from the start credit also. If you're just interested in learning more, but you're not necessarily needing the training credit, we also have recordings of all of our webinars on our webpage on the Bright from the Start website.
Good to know. So you can really start at your own pace and just progress as needed based on your situation, because we know all these situations are different in childcare settings. Veronica, what's the most important thing you want our viewers to know about the coaching that your unit provides?
Well, first and foremost, that the specialists on this team are very passionate about early childhood, and they really are just supporters. Many of them have worked as early childhood providers before and really take a non-judgmental approach to coaching. They work with anyone, no matter where they are in their teaching journey. Our goal is really just to boost the provider's competence and their confidence in their classroom practices. And we really truly believe that that can only be done through a partnership between the provider and the specialist.
That sounds great. Veronica, this is all great information. We hope our viewers appreciate it, take advantage of it. It's all absolutely free, provided through the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning and our amazing inclusion and behavior support team. Veronica, great to talk to you today.
Thank you, Reg. It was great to talk to you too.